Hi, I'm Latif, and this is my Pecha kucha for the CBUS 110 course at McGill. Let me introduce you Shel Holz, who is a communication strategist, author, speaker, and trainer. There is an interesting article in his blog about crisis communication. According to Shel, not too long ago, some analysts predicted Volkswagen might not survive its emission fraud scandal. Today, they are the world's top automaker. How did help save the company? In September 2015, the Environmental Protection Agency found that many Volkswagen cars sold in the US were equipped with software that could falsely improve the performance of diesel engines on emissions tests. This cheating was subsequently acknowledged by the car maker. There was something like a tsunami, but Volkswagen's communication chief said thousands of calls and emails coming in at the same time. A crisis like this, the company was not prepared for, he said. With the company continuing to negotiate with foreign government, we don't know the right way out. Matthias Müller, the new chief executive, visited the US and said, "We didn't lie," when VW clearly did. Then Mr. Müller revised his statement. It has been a humbling fall for a company known for generations for its ability to create a friendly image. The scale of Volkswagen's crisis makes it particularly unusual case. Volkswagen, which includes the Audi, Porsche, and Lamborghini brands, faces a crisis that traverses the globe, complicating the response across borders and cultures. So how does Volkswagen faces the crisis? VW has been scrambling to enlist help. The company has brought in 3 public relations firms based in 3 different countries. VW also hired a law firm to conduct an internal investigation. VW has revived a newsroom for rapid response to inquiries on the scandal from the news, media, and others, made up of 15 to 20 employees from the communications and sales teams and people with technical expertise. But how does Volkswagen deal with this on social media? When things are at their worst, marketing doesn't help. VW US sensibly stopped posting to Facebook and Twitter on Friday, 18th September, the day the emissions scandal broke from the US, until they posted a statement from Michael Horn, the US CEO, who is expected to resign. On September 27th, Volkswagen launched VWDieselinfo.com, but the only VW account that were trying to provide more information were Volkswagen UK, Twitter, and Facebook. VW's silence was pronounced with video apologies from respective CEOs, the only post addressing the crisis in more than a week. The global Twitter account itself seems only to be used to broadcast. It has never once replied to a tweet, only posted. This isn't ideal. However, on September 27th, Volkswagen did get its frequent asked questions page up and running. It doesn't matter if this page is short on resolutions to begin with. VW had to make clear what's being considered, what timescales are involved. What does it mean for diesel owners? Volkswagen's own website need to be updated regularly. Giving out contact details also had to be done with precision. VW is directing customers to a customer care phone number and email address rather than local dealerships. Consumers have, of course, been inundating Volkswagen on social. Plenty of customers are claiming they can no longer trust any of Volkswagen's specifications. Sales staff are asking how the scandal will hit their livelihood, and other customers are highlighting the implications to health of so many VWs on the road with higher emissions than previously thought. Silence is actually visible. Even after an apology has been made, it's common practice in community management to let people vent anger. And in this case, Volkswagen probably isn't able to respond to all of these comments anyway. Looking at Facebook comments in particular, there are plenty of Volkswagen supporters and loyal customers pledging their support. Many state their love for Volkswagen in spite of this scandal and are giving the car manufacturer the grace to put things right. But what about the public perception? According to an article published on Harvard Business Review trying to answer this question, more than 100,000 tweets were examined to analyze how the public sentiment changed over time after the breakout of the scandal. 3 elements were analyzed: frequency, vocabulary, and sentiment. Here are the takeaways. The volume of social media conversation tends to attain a high point immediately following the scandal. The sentiment shifts as the company initiates recovery effort, apology, recall. and regulatory agencies attempt to place responsibility for the scandal on the company itself. These actions make the sentiment itself quite volatile. Ultimately, if the company's efforts at recovery are successful, the sentiment returns to a neutral state. The topics that are discussed in social media change during the course of a brand scandal. Initially, there is a great deal of focus on the crisis itself, as conversations focus on the scope of the crisis. Following that, topics revolve around identifying who may be responsible. Different regulatory agencies become involved in the crisis, and their voice becomes prominent in social media conversations. This is followed by the company initiating a recovery effort, such as issuing apologies, initiating recalls, etc. In this stage, there is an attempt to limit the scope of the crisis incident to specific product within the brand's portfolio. As the scandal itself dies out, the social media conversation shifts to the broader topic of the brand and its future prospects. Finally, a German journalist wrote, "It was a change from paradise directly into hell, from the most profitable car maker to an emergency situation." Someday, Volkswagen's emission cheating scandal will be studied in crisis communications textbooks, and not in a good way. Managing a crisis isn't easy. It's a step-by-step thing, learning by doing. Thank you for watching this presentation. This was Latif from Ottawa for CBUS 110.